today we're going to be talking about how Maserati might have been licensed instead of Driving Empire. But before we do that, make sure to subscribe and drop a like in this video. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so basically, Maserati, they were removed. The Glaciums were the real Maserati models that obviously just weren't officially licensed. And then Onda was a fake Maserati model. Now, here's the deal. Obviously, maybe Maserati contacted Driving Empire saying, hey, you gotta remove our real models. But they wouldn't contact Driving Empire to say, hey, you have to remove your fake custom model that kind of looks like a Maserati, which leads me to believe that Maserati would be licensed. And also, there's a lot more to it, but let's start off with that, basically. That's the first thing. Now, if you had these cars, you got $5 million, so I'm gonna claim that right now. Okay, now, so clearly that you kind of saw that. I mean, they wouldn't just remove a fake vehicle for no reason. So obviously that means something. I would guess that means that they got licensed Maseratis. Now, you might be like, well, if they were licensed, why would they remove them? Because Ford, we know, just got licensed, and it's not technically licensed yet. You can see, we still, yes, have these Fords in-game, but if you go over to the dealership, you're gonna see something, right? There's gonna be a licensed Ford model here. You're gonna be like, why wouldn't they remove the Fords if they got licensed? So, my thought is, the Maseratis might have been removed, unlike the Fords, because the Fords, some of the Fords might be turned into the new licensed models. Like, this Ford right here will be turned into a licensed Ford, while some of the others, yes, they might actually end up getting removed, like this one, on the day of the licensing when they release this Friday. But the Maseratis, there was only 3 Maseratis. Let's start with that. Also, these Maseratis, it's not like they were just in the dealership. They've been off sale for a good year now, so that is another thing that you gotta know. The Maseratis were off sale for a year. And basically, in that year, obviously, you know, if Maserati wanted them removed from the game, like, for legal reasons, they would have asked, but no. They were just taken out of the game because they were off sale, and that's not the main reason, but the main reason is, I don't think we're getting those Maseratis licensed that were in-game, so there's no point in them keeping them around, and it wouldn't make sense, obviously, if they removed some Fords but kept others right away, so you get what I'm saying here, basically. Ford obviously wouldn't get touched because some of them are getting turned into licensed models. But Maserati, my guess is none of those are getting turned into licensed models. Most likely, I think I can predict what Maseratis would come if they get licensed. And I don't think any of those are the ones that would come. So let me show you all now that we kind of know what's going on with Maserati. What Maseratis I think could come. So if you look up Maserati, we're going to see a few different cars here. Now, obviously, we got Maserati sedans. Now, okay, this one is probably one of the best-selling Maseratis, so I feel like they would most likely add this Maserati sedan. And honestly, let me go with my thoughts about Maserati. I honestly am not that big of a fan of most Maseratis. I feel like the only cool thing about them is their engines, which are Ferrari engines. Maybe that could mean Ferrari could potentially come in the future, because the engines, but I don't really know. I doubt it. It's kind of like too much of a stretch. But back to what we're talking about here. Maseratis, I don't love them. I mean, it's not the best looking car. It looks really outdated. This car right here, this one will most likely come. This is kind of like their sports car. I think this thing's been around for like almost 20 years now, and it's looked at the same thing for the last 20 years. Kind of crazy, but like, yeah, this car really just, they never changed the design, which kind of sucks. So this is another Maserati they could add. They have this Maserati SUV that exists. Another very boring looking Maserati. I'm gonna be honest, Maseratis just aren't amazing looking vehicles in my opinion. They're just whatever. Now, I didn't say all Maseratis, most. Some Maseratis, this one is sick, okay? I can't lie, this one's really cool. This one would be sick if they added it. I mean, they got the convertible variant, we got the coupe variant, but they actually removed the fake version of this from the game, I believe. So I don't know, because we had like a fake model of it. So as I was saying, you know, I thought that they removed them because they wouldn't add them, but what Maserati would they be adding if they aren't adding this one? I mean, this is like the Maserati I feel like they would add. I mean, yeah, those two would make sense for a Maserati update, so I don't really know what they're going to be adding then. Now, another really cool Maserati is actually the race car variant of that. Now, you know what would be really cool? Hear me out. They could have like 3 Maseratis in the normal dealer, and this could be a collection Maserati. Let me show you how that would work. So in game, we have all these GT3 cars. The Audi GT3, we got a 720 GT3, we have a Bentley Continental GT3, and the way you obtain all these is by owning a few cars. For example, the Audi, you have to own these Audis right here, and then you get the GT3 car from it. McLaren, you gotta own these McLarens right here, then you get the GT3 car. You kind of get it. Basically, you just own a few of the cars. Lastly, you know, Bentley, you own 3 Bentleys. This is how it would work with Maserati, most likely, since they don't have very many models. So it would just kind of like be one of the, or like 2 or 3 of these cars. Pretend these are Maseratis, and you can get that Maserati GT3 thing. Let me just show you that once again. This thing, you can definitely see how that's kind of like a GT3 style car. It's obviously not, it's a GT2, but it's still really cool looking. So I definitely think that would fit in with, you know, the collections thing that they have in Driving Empire. So a collections Maserati GT3. Now that's all I think that they could do for cars, but let's talk about maybe when this could come, because honestly, there's a few licensed cars ahead of Maserati that gotta get to the game first. Now, as I mentioned, a few updates are ahead of Maserati. This Friday, we have Ford coming, so licensed Ford models are gonna be this Friday, right? So that's one update ahead of Maserati for sure. Now, another update that might be ahead of Maserati, you can see here at this NASCAR place, we have a lot of NASCAR races coming soon, right? So I don't know when these races will be added, but I mean, I'm pretty sure, you know, they're gonna end up using these races as filler updates, so you know, that's surely going to be one of the updates before Maserati, I feel like. And also, I mentioned in a video previously why Toyota is most likely licensed. And my reasoning was that we have a Toyota NASCAR, so it would make sense for Toyota to be licensed. And I said the same thing about Ford. Sure enough, Ford gets confirmed to be licensed a few days later. So Toyota, I wouldn't be surprised if Toyota update is coming as well soon. So that's 3 updates before we could get Maserati, I believe. So at least 3 weeks until we get Maserati. And who knows, they usually do some other random filler updates. So maybe that's 4 to 5 weeks. That could be over a month until we see Maserati come to the game. And who knows, we're still in the very early stages. All we saw so far was the cars get removed. Now, something very similar happened with Koenigsegg, I believe, where they got removed. And honestly, I think it took about like maybe a month, yeah, until Koenigsegg was licensed as well. So honestly, I'm dropping it. My prediction is around 3 to 5 weeks, so just about a month from right now is when we should see Maseratis arrive to the game. Now, what's really interesting though about all this is Maserati getting licensed could lead to a lot more, because Stellantis, they own Maserati, and you know what else Stellantis owns? They own Fiat, they own Ram, they own Dodge, they own Chrysler, they own Jeep, they own Abarth, Alfa Romeo, Lancia, Peugeot, Vauxhall, DS Automobiles, and Citroen. Honestly, I'm gonna be for real, I don't even know those few bottom brands. They're probably like European car brands that we don't have here in America where I live, so that might be why. But you know, I see some cool brands that people would love in game. Dodge, I know people would love that. Ram trucks, that would be sick. Alfa Romeos could be pretty cool, can't lie. Fiat's pretty nice. Jeeps, off-roading, could be sick in Jeeps. So, you know, there's a lot of potential here with this, because Maserati coming could mean a lot more things. So, you know, that's something to note. But also, this is all speculation, and you have to keep that in mind, because the selling similar happened with Dodge. All the Dodges were removed, but we never really got Dodge licensed yet. So, I don't know. I mean, now that I think about it, Dodge is owned by Stellantis. They were removed, never licensed yet. I don't know, man. So, nothing's really confirmed. It's kind of speculation here at this point. Honestly, it could go either way. Either in a month we're going to have it licensed, or we're never going to see Maseratis in the game again at this point. That's how I feel, based off this new information I've realized. But yeah, that's what I think's going on right now. But that is going to be everything for today's video. I truly hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like. I would truly appreciate it. Subscribe, ring the notification bell so you never miss another upload. Check out the video on screen here. YouTube thinks to like it. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.